Hello everyone. Today I'm on a rice combine harvester and we will be exploring the significance of rice and the intricacies of its harvesting process. I have been eager to create this video for a long time. While this content differs slightly from my usual bird videos, you will still see our feathered friends following the harvester, making this partly a bird video as well. Rice production in India is an important part of the national economy. India is the world's second largest producer of rice and the largest exporter of rice in the world. Rice is a major grain in India, cultivated across the largest area globally. It thrives in hot, humid climates and is predominantly grown during the Kharif season in rain-fed regions over 100 centimeters of annual rainfall. It can also be grown through irrigation in less rainy areas. As a staple food in eastern and southern India, rice cultivation varies across the country based on climatic conditions, with eastern and southern regions favorable year-round, while northern and western regions grow only one crop from May to November. Rice can be harvested by different methods based on the type of region. But in India, traditional methods are still in use for harvesting rice. The fields are initially plowed and fertilizer is applied, which typically consists of cow dung, and then the field is smoothened. The seeds are transplanted by hand and then through proper irrigation, the seeds are cultivated. Rice grows on a variety of soils like silts, loams, and gravels. It can tolerate alkaline as well as acid soils. However, clayey loam is well suited for raising of this crop. Actually, the clayey soil can be easily converted into the mud in which the rice seedlings can be transplanted easily. Proper care has to be taken as this crop thrives if the soil remains wet and is underwater during its growing years. Rice fields should be level and should have low mud walls for retaining water. In the plain areas, excessive rainfall is allowed to inundate the rice fields and flow slowly. Rice raised in well-watered lowland areas is also known as lowland or wet rice. In hilly areas, slopes are cut into the terraces for cultivation of rice. Thus, the rice grown in hilly areas is known as dry or upland rice. The yield of upland rice per hectare is comparatively less than that of wet rice. Thus, soils having good water holding capacity with good amount of clay and organic matter are ideal for puddled rice cultivation. Rice, being a semi-aquatic crop, grows best under submerged conditions. A major part of rice crop in India is growing under lowland conditions. Rice seasons in India. Autumn or pre-Kharif rice, sown from May to August and harvested in September-October. Sowing time varies slightly by state due to weather and rainfall patterns. Winter or Kharif rice, the main rice growing season accounting for about 65% of the country's rice crop, sown in June-July and harvested in November to December. Medium to long duration varieties are typically grown. Summer or Rabi rice, sown around mid-November and harvested during the summer months of April to May. More than rice, wheat is a major Rabi crop in India. Despite the season, rice field water use accounting for evapotranspiration, seepage and percolation, on average about 2,500 liters of water is to be supplied by rainfall or irrigation to produce just 1 kg of rice. Despite great advances in mechanics and computer control, the basic operation of the combine harvester has remained unchanged almost since it was invented. Over the years, power requirements have escalated due to increased capacities and the energy-intensive nature of the process, like rotary threshing and straw chopping. A common issue is the presence of airborne chaff and straw, which can accumulate and pose a fire hazard, as well as obstruct radiators, leading to a potential malfunction. To mitigate these challenges, most machines now feature enclosed engine compartments and rotary centrifugal inlet screens that effectively prevent shaft buildup. A combine harvester is a marvel of modern agriculture, seamlessly integrating several processes to efficiently gather crops. Here's an overview of the steps involved in its operation. Reaping. The combine harvester starts by reeling the crops into the machine, where the paddy is using its front cutting mechanism, which has oscillating blades similar to a beard trimmer. The cut crops are then fed into the machine through the header auger and transported using the grain conveyor. Threshing. Inside the combine, the crops are threshed, which means the grains are separated from the chaff and straw. This is done by a threshing drum or rotor that beats the cut crops. The crops can sometimes pick up stones and mud that get collected in the stone trap. Separation. After threshing, the grains and small debris are separated from the larger pieces of straw. This is typically done using a combination of shaking and sieving. The straw walker is a conveyor that transports the straw to the back of the combine. The grains fall through sieves into the grain pan. Cleaning. The separated grains are further cleaned to remove any remaining debris. This involves blowing air through the grains to lift away lighter particles. The grains are transported to the grain tank using the grain auger. Grain collection. The cleaned grains are collected in a grain tank within the combine harvester. When the tank is full, the grains are transferred to a waiting trailer or truck using an unloading auger. Straw management. The leftover straw and chaff can be managed in different ways. It can be spread back onto the field as mulch, baled for animal bedding, or collected for other uses. These steps allow farmers to effectively harvest vast fields of crops in a relatively short amount of time, ensuring a smooth and productive harvest season. In various cultures, rice holds significant religious and symbolic meanings. In Hindu weddings, rice symbolizes fertility, prosperity, and purity. In Malay weddings, it is a part of special foods, while in Japan and the Philippines, rice wine is used in celebrations. Devasri, a goddess in the Indo-Malaysian archipelago, is mythically transformed into rice or crops. Asian countries like Nepal and Cambodia mark the rice planting season with a royal plowing ceremony. Farmers are the backbone of our communities, dedicating their lives to cultivating and nurturing crops that sustain us. Their hard work and perseverance ensure that we have food on our tables and a bountiful harvest each season. Here's the rice harvesting process. Land preparation. Farmers first prepare the fields by plowing and leveling the land to ensure proper irrigation and drainage. Seeds are either directly sown in the field or germinated in nurseries before transplanting them to the fields. When the seedlings reach a certain height, they are carefully transplanted into the paddy fields. Rice requires controlled water management. Farmers flood and drain the fields multiple times during the growing season. Regular weeding and the application of fertilizer are necessary to ensure healthy growth. Monitoring for pests and diseases is crucial. Farmers use various methods, including organic and chemical treatments, to protect the crops. Once the rice plants mature, they are harvested using traditional methods or modern machinery. The harvested rice is threshed to separate the grains from the stalks and then cleaned to remove impurities. The grains are then dried to reduce moisture content and prevent spoilage. The dried rice undergoes milling to remove the husk, producing white or brown rice. Finally, the rice is packaged and transported to markets for consumption. The entire process is labor-intensive and requires meticulous attention to detail to ensure a good yield. Every step is vital for that perfect, fluffy bowl of rice you enjoy. Isn't it amazing how much effort goes into something we often take for granted? It's been a while since my last upload. Today marks a special occasion as this is the 100th full-length video in my series. I wanted to make it truly unique. In the coming weeks, I'll be sharing some exciting bird videos that I can't wait for you to see. As always, your support means the world to me. If you enjoy my content, please consider subscribing. Stay tuned for more. Thank you.